Begins again.
And how you guys doing, you darn hooligans? Today, before we get into the Outlaw MC's official response to an article that happened down in Texas, I want to give a shout out over to Paul at Bagger Syndicate Cycles. He's the one who provides all my cool hats, and he also gave a cool shirt. The link is in the description box. Go over there and see them. Not only are they a apparel company, but they also have a bike shop. They do oil changes, the whole 9 yards. They do custom bikes. Real good guys out in New York. I believe it's Buffalo. So go over there, check them out. It is in the description box, and you get cool hats just like I got. But this is a serious show. I have never seen such malfeasance in a news article than the one you're about to see now. There's been a lot of people asking me, hey, Hollywood, why ain't you covering this story? You know, we've seen it on the site, but you haven't said anything about it. Well, I was digging into it. I was trying to get a hold of the reporter and stuff like that. Wouldn't give me a call back because I was pretty peeved in the email that I sent. Usually, you know, with all the people that we talk with in the news organizations, it is really, really unreal that this one didn't freaking get back to us. But anyway, this report is dangerous in many ways. You know, as I do, down in Florida during a bike week, one of the sheriffs or lieutenants, whatever you want to call the schmuck, had a bunch of FBI agents, DEA, whatever it was, next to him. And he was trying to push the case that 1%er clubs were domestic terrorists. That's what they want to get them labeled as by the federal government. It's bad enough the Department of Justice is always label them as OMGs, they're freaking organized crime on wheels. You know, just keep on going down the freaking aisle here with what they want to say. But the reason why this one in particular is dangerous is because the police are alleging that the Bandidos and Outlaws met in regards to hiring a Bolivian national to, you know, take out a couple of the Waco cops. First of all, and I don't speak for the Outlaws or any other club, they got their own statement. This is my personal opinion. All this that's coming out is my personal opinion and Insane Throttle Bikers News. So don't think we speak for anybody. We're just putting out the story that these people should do. Give both sides of the story, which we already know the media doesn't do. But anyway, they claim that the Bandidos and Outlaws had a meeting to hire a Bolivian national. You know how dangerous that article is. Again, for one, AOA ain't even in Texas. Two, the Bandidos, they're already having enough problems since Waco. I believe this is just law enforcement or somebody within law enforcement feeding somebody's ear. Now, I've been seeing if Waco Tribune had this, but I haven't seen nothing but from this one news outlet. And again, they won't return any of our calls for comment. They won't correct the story. And this is dangerous to the whole scene. We already know that the Mongols with the federal government, I think it's still in appeals in the Ninth Circuit, and that's probably going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, because if they've been going after the Mongols for 10 years, they're not going to freaking stop. But is this to fill a budget? Is this about that CCW arrest that they have going down there with the trial? You know, more on that, you can go talk to Popeye on his channel. Texas Biker Radio. He has the whole thing. I think he did something on this particular subject on his last show. Go over there, listen to him, what he has to say, his thoughts on that, because it's going down in Texas. But let's get to the article, and you're just gonna freaking shake your head just like I have been. For those that are in and around the scene, this is just outrageous. Outrageous. This is them trying to fill their budget and cause problems between clubs. And I know you're going to have cops out there on YouTube or everywhere else talking, well, they deserve it and stuff like that. No, This is outrageous. Okay. The media in question is KWTX Texas. Now, what's even worrisome is it's just not no newspaper article. They actually had this on their segment of the news. Now, this is by Risa Shaw, and this is the one we emailed, tried to get a hold of, and won't call back. Because they should have known this story was crap from the very beginning. Right after Waco, Texas happened, the cops started the rumor, the Bandidos, they're going to come back and put a hit on cops. Never materialized, did it? No. You guys are mad because Abel Reyna got voted out of office. You had to drop every damn case that you had against the people that were false in the first place. How the hell do you arrest over 177 people not having nothing to do with the incident? You had a lot of people on camera running away, but you still arrested them. You knew there was a Confederation meeting down there in Texas when all this stuff popped off at Waco. You guys knew beforehand that there could be trouble. That's why you had everybody stationed out front hours before the event. But you decided not to stop it. Not to stop it. But now you guys are throwing this up. And this is December 12th. This is 5 days. That's why we've been doing this, waiting and trying to find out all the facts of what's going on. Know what's going on. You got duped, KWTX. You got duped. You have been used as a propaganda machine by law enforcement down there, and you didn't do your due diligence. You claim that you reached out to both clubs and got no answer, but we're going to have the official statement later on in the show. Waco, Texas, KWTX. Any of you guys that watch it down in Texas, or you know what, not even the ones who live in Texas, I'll give you the email that's broad in the description of the show notes. I'll give you that. Email her and let her know your frustration. As bikers, man, you don't even need to do it as club members. Do it as bikers, because this is just something that was way out there. Anyway, it appears some of the key players in the Twin Peaks shootout can't seem to let go. You heard that line, right? It appears some of the key players in the Twin Peaks shootout can't seem to let it go. Who were the key players in the Twin Peaks Waco? Bandidos and the Ugly Man Kazakhs. Not the 1% Kazakhs broke away from the Ugly Man after all that. It's a different story. You'd hear it on a podcast where I interview them. Anyway, even though the McAllen County District Attorney's Office dropped all of the pending cases against bikers earlier this year. Okay, so now they're trying to shape public opinion like, hey, we dropped everything. We, especially after we ruined everybody's lives, we dropped it, and now they're, the bad guys are coming at the cops. That's exactly what they're doing, is trying to shape public opinion. Anyway, KWTX has obtained classified information about a secret meeting that recently took place between biker gangs, which led to confidential law enforcement memos about possible hits on officers stemming from the 2015's deadly biker brawl. Obtain classified information. What are you doing? Sleeping with one of the cops and they want to put it out there so they give it to you? Like I said, I haven't seen this in the Waco Tribune. Tribune. I'll keep looking, but I haven't seen it. It goes on to say, according to multiple sources with direct knowledge of the situation. Isn't it funny with the media, they'll claim sources, unidentified, or according to multiple sources. This country's news media is a joke. It used to be in the old days that your sources were named, but now they ain't named. That way you're able to shape the public opinion. And again, this was on December 12th. Within the last 2 weeks, memos were sent to several local law enforcement agencies about a meeting between two top biker groups, the Bandidos and the Outlaws, seeking revenge against the police. Now, I haven't got a statement from the Bandidos. I suggest they put one out so we can get it out there, their side of the story, because God knows these people ain't going to put their side of the story out. But the official statement from the Outlaws, again, would be coming. The Outlaws weren't even there, so why would they be seeking revenge against cops down there? Are you kidding me? How much of a horseshit article or these supposed memos are supposed to be? They don't even have a chapter down in Texas. The Bandidos and Outlaws are both classified by the Federal Bureau of Investigation as outlaw motorcycle gangs. Yeah, you had to throw that one in there to make the story more believable for the general public who don't know their head from their ass. The FBI and Texas Department of Public Safety have yet to confirm the existence of these memos to KWTX. Whoa! Even the FBI has yet to confirm these memos. But you put a story out, again, you're probably sleeping with one of the cops, that are supposedly this is what happened. I think the FBI and Texas Department of Public Safety would confirm this, don't you? If not, they're probably ones putting it out there and they don't want to be the ones behind it. However, several local law enforcement sources have. Well, they're still pissed off that all their charges were dropped and they were made to look like fools. And they were made to look like the bad guys. I guess they don't like to be made as the bad guys. What was it for? You guys shot and killed? It was like a turkey shoot. You guys out there with the AR-15s, but you want to take them away from civilians. But you guys can have them so we can't fight back against you. And I'm not just talking about bikers. We actually got a story up on HarleyLiberty.com about how Virginia is starting to form militias within counties now. The actual counties are starting them. Anyway, we're going to keep on going. I'm not going to get off on that. The Bandidos, through their general counsel, William S. Moraine Jr. Okay, so they did. However, called reports of secret meetings about retaliation against law enforcement officers, propaganda in a press release issued Friday. I got to get a hold of that one. There are no facts to support these unfounded allegations. It is simply fake news, a lie, or propaganda, he said. Boy, did he nail it there. It is fake news, a lie, and yes, it's propaganda. The first memo sent last week said law enforcement had received information that the Bandidos and the Outlaws were attempting to hire Bolivian nationals to carry out 3 hits on officers, 2 in Waco and 1 in Florida. Oh, now you throw in the Florida stuff, right? What did this guy retire, move there, whatever? You don't even put it in the story. Why in Florida? No details. None at all. But Bolivian nationals, you see what they're trying to do right here? They are trying to pull them in as domestic terrorists because they're hiring Bolivian nationals. Basically, all that is somebody who is in Bolivia. But they'll throw those nationals in there. That word, it makes it sound a lot more uglier. The memo called the threat credible. Well, if it's so credible, release the memos and release your sources. The DPS and the Waco Police Department, yeah, we're going to trust them. Waco Police Department and the McAllen County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, we're going to also trust these several judges were made aware of the threat. Sources, again, that are unnamed confirm the KWTX. Then on Wednesday, the threat was supported by information obtained by an out-of-state agency. Okay. Local departments were sent a memo saying a confidential informant with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation reported that the Bandidos and Outlaws and their support clubs are attempting to do contract hits on officers in Waco, Florida, and possibly against other law enforcement nationwide. So you got confidential informants, or better known as rats, working with cops who are probably sleeping with the reporter because she won't give anything up, putting this information out. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Local departments were sent the memo from a confidential informant with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations. Whatever clubs are in Oklahoma, you got yourself a rat that is trying to get out of a beef and is given all kinds of crap information, and he must not know his head from his ass, because if he did, he would know the AOA wasn't down in Texas. Unreal. The Bandidos Motorcycle Club, United States, does not participate in, agree with, or condone what is alleged to have happened in this recent story, Moran said in the statement. I'm glad they got their side of the story out. And reassures law enforcement and the general public that the Bandidos Motorcycle Club does not engage in such activity. Then she goes on to say on May 17, 2015, 9 bikers were killed and more were injured as a result of what authorities say was a turf war between rival gangs, the Bandidos and Cossacks, at the Twin Peaks restaurant in Central Texas Marketplace in Waco. But you didn't report how it all went down now, did ya? Multiple sources, go look at Tommy Witherspoon, KWTX, and his reporting on the whole thing, and then try to correct a record of what you have here. Police propagandists. Anyway, in April, the new McAllen County DA, Barry Johnson, dismissed the charges against the last of the bikers with criminal cases pending. I think there's a reason for the cops and the DA and judges to be a little upset. The FBI provided this statement, quote, while our standard practice is to decline comment on specific law enforcement bulletins, the FBI routinely shares information with our law enforcement partners which identifies potential threats to law enforcement officers and communities they serve. The FBI also directly notifies individuals and organizations of information that they may perceive as potentially life-threatening in nature. What? Early in the story, you guys said you had no idea about this. Now you're putting out a statement like that? You see the back and forth of these law enforcement agencies? They cannot even get their stories straight with each other. Again, early in the article, they said they didn't know about it. Now all of a sudden they know about it? People, can't you see what's going on in the media and law enforcement? Jesus! My God! While Twin Peaks happened more than 4 years ago, it's fair to say it hasn't been forgotten, and if anything, appears to only have emboldened some of those involved. Again, by Risa Shaw out of the KWTX office, and again, they played this on TV. There you got the scene of Twin Peaks. They even put the bodies still laying out there. My God, you guys are worse than freaking Germany in 1940s, man. You guys really are. This is a sad freaking piece of journalism, and you guys are freaking morons. But you got the Bandidos statement, and we're going to give you the freaking Outlaws statement regarding this. But do you guys see what they're... That's why you guys got to get in this fight, man. When there's fake news, you got to call it out, especially in the biker community. Don't sit back there and let it happen. I don't care if you're a club member or not. Anyway, here to the Outlaws statement. To KWTX, the American Outlaws Association, AOA, does not normally respond to utterly baseless news stories. But your recent and obvious reporting that members of the AOA attempted to hire Bolivian nationals to carry out 3 hits on officers raises troubling concerns of KWTX's journalistic ethics and integrity. They got that one right. The unfortunate reality of KWTX's story is that your outlet was used as a hand-manipulated dummy in yet another unscrupulous convening counterintelligence scheme. It's conniving, man. Which begs the question, which federal or state agency is the ventriloquist? That from the AOA. And boy, do they got it right, man. Troubling concerns about the journalistic ethics and integrity. And like I said, this only came out on KWTX that I'm familiar with. You know, I've been trying to find this on other news outlets and I can't. So again, you have to look at, okay, who's writing the story, who's their sources. The FBI said in the beginning of the article they had no idea about the memo. Then in the middle of the story, we learned it was a confidential informant from Oklahoma. Then all of a sudden in the next story, it's about freaking the FBI knew about it and they send out threat assessments. Which one is it in your reporting? Who is your sources? You have egg on your face like you wouldn't believe within the biker community. And those people that are smart enough to know about fake news as citizens, all they have to look what's going on in this country right now at the top, man. The freaking Pfizer report that just came out. You can't see what law enforcement is really about? They went after the president, for Christ's sakes. And now you have a falsely stated news article from unidentified sources, from informants, from an FBI that can't make up their mind if they freaking sent out the member or seen it. Or then, you know, this is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. What do you guys think, man? Let your thoughts be known in the comment section. Yeah, I'm riled up because I take pride in the journalism stuff. I really love the ones that do it the right way. But nowadays, it just seems like it's nothing but propaganda. And then you have to have people dig through all the crap. But this stuff has real consequences on the street, this kind of article. Unfreaking real, man. You know, hats off to both clubs for putting their statement out there, getting your side of the story out. I'll try to find the full statement on the Bandidos. Again, let me know what your thoughts are on this whole thing, and I'll talk to you guys later.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.